Welcome to DreamSleep Studios, your peaceful corner of YouTube, where we merge soothing storytelling with the mysteries of the universe. Tonight, we're diving into Interstellar, not as a fast-paced blockbuster, but as a gentle, drifting journey across space and time. In this calming documentary, we'll explore 120 sleepy facts about the film, the science behind it, the hidden details, production secrets, emotional themes, and the beautiful cosmic ideas that shaped Christopher Nolan's masterpiece. So settle in, allow your breath to soften, and as the background ambience plays, let your mind float weightlessly through the stars. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to DreamSleep Studios and tap the like button. It helps this relaxing universe grow, and it lets YouTube know you enjoy peaceful videos like this one. Now, let's drift into the cosmos. Fact 1. The scientific spark behind Interstellar. Before Interstellar was a script, it was a scientific proposal from physicist Kip Thorne, who imagined a film that respected real astrophysics at every turn. Christopher Nolan later transformed that idea into an emotional odyssey, grounding cosmic exploration in human longing. This collaboration created a rare blend of Hollywood ambition and genuine scientific rigor, making the universe feel both vast and intimately reachable. Fact 2. A movie bound by the laws of physics. Kip Thorne accepted involvement only after securing a promise. Nothing in the film would break known physical laws without discussion. This rule shaped every scene, from wormhole travel to gravitational anomalies. Nolan embraced the constraint, using it not as a limit but as a creative compass, crafting a story where the wonders of space remain grounded in possibilities that real science can one day explore. Fact 3. Rendering a black hole that changed science. Gargantua wasn't merely designed, it was computed. The visual effects team used equations supplied by Thorne, generating light patterns based on gravitational lensing. Some frames required over 100 hours to render, pushing computing systems to their limit. The result wasn't just cinematic beauty. It became so accurate that physicists later studied the images for new scientific insights. Fact 4. The glow of Gargantua has mathematical roots. The swirling halo around the black hole isn't artistic improvisation. It's produced by photons bending around intense gravity, simulated using real physics code. The asymmetry you see, bright on one side, darker on the other, comes from the Doppler effect as matter spins at relativistic speed. What looks like a dream is, in truth, a glimpse of how a black hole might genuinely appear. Fact 5. Time dilation crafted as an emotional blade. Nolan wanted viewers to feel relativity. On Miller's Water Planet, an hour equals 7 years on Earth, turning a scientific phenomenon into heartbreak. The tension of the ticking score and the massive waves heightens the sense that every second lost fractures families light years away. This emotional weight shows how cosmic rules can shape deeply human consequences. Fact 6. The Tesseract was built to inspire calm wonder. Though visually complex, the Tesseract sequence was conceived as something serene rather than chaotic. Nolan imagined a space where time becomes a physical dimension one can walk through, reflecting the quiet intimacy between Cooper and Murph. The gentle repetition of moments was designed to soothe rather than overwhelm, reinforcing the idea that love can echo across dimensions. Fact 7. Real dust was used to create the Blight atmosphere. To depict Earth's slow collapse, the production team used fine, non-toxic dust sprayed across sets. After each take, dust settled on actors and equipment, giving scenes an authentic, unsettling texture. Nolan chose practical effects to capture the tactile heaviness of a dying world, grounding the film's emotional stakes long before the story reaches space. Fact 8. The farm was a fully functional build. Instead of relying on CGI or rented locations, Nolan had a real farm constructed specifically for the movie. Cornfields were planted months in advance, giving the landscape genuine life. This choice allowed the actors to interact naturally with their environment, making Earth feel like a real home worth saving, a quiet contrast to the coldness of space. Fact 9. Hans Zimmer composed without seeing the script. Zimmer received only a single page from Nolan describing the bond between a father and child. No mention of space, wormholes, or black holes. From this fragment, he crafted the emotional core of the score. Only later did Nolan reveal that this intimate theme would become the heartbeat of a cosmic epic, blending warmth with the infinite. Fact 10. The church organ became the sound of the cosmos. Zimmer chose the massive temple church organ in London to give the score its breath-like, meditative tone. The deep, resonant notes symbolize the enormity of space, yet their gentle rise and fall provide a soothing rhythm ideal for relaxation. This contrast, vast but calming, makes Interstellar's music uniquely capable of lulling listeners into a peaceful drift. Fact 11. The wormhole's shape was scientifically modeled. Unlike typical sci-fi tunnels, Interstellar's wormhole appears as a shimmering sphere because that's how a real wormhole would distort space. Using advanced simulations, the VFX team built a three-dimensional sphere that bends the surrounding stars. The result is a scientifically faithful visualization that captures the quiet majesty of crossing into another part of the universe. Fact 12. The water planet was inspired by tidal extremes. Miller's planet, with its endless shallow ocean and colossal waves, was based on the gravitational pull exerted by Gargantua. The waves aren't storms, they're tides magnified to terrifying scale. Nolan wanted the world to feel calm at first glance, yet governed by forces far beyond human control, creating a subtle tension beneath the serene water. Fact 13. Anne Hathaway's spacesuit weighed over 40 kilograms. The bulky suits were designed to look authentic, not lightweight like typical Hollywood costumes. Hathaway described moving in the suit as meditative, each step requiring slow, deliberate motion. This unintentional stillness contributed to the film's tranquil atmosphere, reinforcing a sense of drifting weightlessly through the unknown. Fact 14. TARS and Case were real practical machines. Rather than relying solely on CGI, Nolan had physical puppeteered robots for TARS and Case, controlled by operators behind them. Their modular, monolithic design allowed them to move with surprising grace. The calm, rhythmic clacking of their mechanical limbs became part of the set's ambient sound, adding subtle realism to each scene. Fact 15. The NASA base was filmed using minimal CGI. The underground NASA facility was built as a functional set, lit softly to evoke hidden hope amid Earth's decline. Nolan avoided futuristic designs, choosing grounded engineering that feels plausible today. This quiet authenticity makes the film's journey from Earth to the stars feel like an evolution, not a leap into fantasy. Fact 16. Murph's name symbolizes humanity's dual nature. Muff, a shorthand for Murphy's Law, embodies the idea that anything can go wrong, yet also the resilience to solve what breaks. Nolan used her name as a thematic thread, suggesting that humanity's flaws and strengths coexist. Muff's journey mirrors Earth's fate, fragile, troubled, yet capable of extraordinary discovery. Fact 17. The library scene was built as a giant physical structure. The Tesseract interior wasn't entirely digital. Large sections of the infinite book wall environment were constructed so actors could interact with tangible surfaces. Lights shifted softly across the panels to simulate time folding around Cooper. This blend of practical detail and digital expansion gave the sequence its dreamlike calm. Fact 18. Filming in Iceland created natural alien worlds. Two of the film's planets, Miller's Water World and Man's Frozen Wasteland, were shot in Iceland, where harsh landscapes naturally resemble extraterrestrial terrain. The cold winds and wide-open silence shaped the actors' performances, adding a raw stillness that CGI alone could never reproduce. Fact 19. Man's planet reflects the fragility of isolation. Dr. Man's icy planet was designed to feel deceptively peaceful. Beneath its soft, pale surface lies a world inhospitable to life. The quiet emptiness mirrors man's psychological unraveling, showing how isolation can distort hope. Nolan intended the environment itself to whisper the dangers of loneliness in deep space. Fact 20. Interstellar's color palette was chosen for calmness. Despite its cosmic scale, the film avoids harsh neons or overstimulating colors. Nolan and cinematographer Hoyt van Hoytema selected muted tones, dusty browns, gentle blues, soft blacks, to keep the visual rhythm soothing. Even the deep space sequences maintain a quiet, meditative contrast that relaxes the viewer's senses. Fact 21. The opening school scene sets a quiet dystopia. Interstellar doesn't open with rockets or stars, but with a gentle, almost mundane conversation in a classroom. The teacher calmly denying the moon landing reveals how humanity has quietly turned its back on curiosity. This choice grounds the story in a soft, familiar setting, making the later journey into space feel like a bittersweet escape from a world that has stopped dreaming. Fact 22. Cooper represents the last generation of explorers. Cooper is a pilot forced to become a farmer, a man designed for the skies yet confined to dusty fields. His frustration is never shouted. It simmers quietly beneath his love for his family. Nolan created him as a bridge between two eras, one that looks down at the soil for survival, and one that still dares to look up at the stars. Fact 23. Murph's bedroom is the emotional center of the film. While the story spans galaxies, it always returns to one small room filled with books, dust, and a mysterious ghost. Murph's bedroom is where love, science, and the supernatural seem to overlap. Every object, the watch, the bookshelf, the notebook, becomes a thread in a larger cosmic pattern, reminding us that the universe can change from within a single child's room. Fact 24. The ghost was always meant to be science, not magic. Even though it feels like a haunting, the so-called ghost in Murph's room is rooted in physics, not fantasy. Messages across time, gravity as a tool for communication, and dimensions beyond our perception turn a classic ghost story setup into a quiet science puzzle. The film gently suggests that what we call supernatural might one day be understood through deeper laws of reality. Fact 25. The cornfields symbolize fading abundance. Corn, as one of the last remaining crops, represents a world slowly running out of options. The tall, golden fields look peaceful, almost nostalgic, yet they grow under a sky filled with dust. Nolan uses this contrast, beauty on the surface, decay underneath, to show that humanity is living in borrowed time, clinging to habits while the planet quietly fails. Fact 26. The car chase through the corn is really a goodbye. When Cooper chases the malfunctioning drone and then rushes after the coordinates through the corn, the scene feels energetic, but emotionally it's a farewell. The roaring engine, the bending stalks, and the sunlight flashing through the windshield mark his last wild ride on Earth. It's his final moment of instinctive, reckless exploration before destiny pulls him fully into space. Fact 27. The drone symbolizes lost curiosity. The drone Cooper captures is a relic of a different era, an unmanned machine still roaming the skies long after its purpose has vanished. Instead of scrapping it, he speaks about repurposing it, guiding it. This quiet interaction shows how humanity has stopped asking why, and now only asks, how do we survive? A subtle commentary on the cost of abandoning exploration. Fact 28. The family dinner scenes show a world shrinking inward. The meals at Cooper's table are simple and repetitive, surrounded by dust and tension. Conversations keep circling back to scarcity, to blight, to lost opportunities. These scenes gently convey that life on Earth has become a loop, with few new stories to tell. The contrast with the infinite possibilities of space makes the eventual journey feel like a breath of fresh air. Fact 29. Donald represents the old world's memory. Cooper's father-in-law, Donald, is a calm, weathered presence who remembers better times but quietly accepts the new reality. His stories of the past feel almost like myths to the younger generation. Nolan uses him as a living archive, a reminder that humanity once thrived, laughed, and dreamed freely, before dust storms and survivalism reshaped every priority. Fact 30. The dust storms were inspired by real historical footage. To create the choking, slow-moving dust clouds, the filmmakers studied images and testimonies from the real Dust Bowl of the 1930s. The scenes were designed to feel eerily familiar rather than futuristic. This connection to history makes the disaster in Interstellar feel less like science fiction and more like a quiet warning. What happened once on a smaller scale could happen again on a global one. Fact 31. The launch sequence was designed for breath-like rhythm. Nolan wanted the Saturn V-style launch to feel less like an explosive triumph and more like a slow, steady inhale. The camera lingers on vibrations, quiet rattles, and soft mechanical groans rather than dramatic orchestration. This pacing creates a meditative ascent, as if the ship is gently lifting humanity's hopes off the dusty ground and into the silent clarity of space. Fact 32. Space was filmed as truly silent. Most sci-fi films fill space with rumbling engines or dramatic echoes, but Interstellar embraces realism. In vacuum, sound cannot travel. Nolan used near silence to create a floating, dreamlike stillness. The absence of noise heightens each breath inside the helmets, reminding us that life in space is delicate, suspended between survival and the infinite void. Fact 33. The Endurance's modular design mirrors a clock. The circular spacecraft resembles the gears of a timepiece, with each module rotating like a precise mechanism. Nolan chose this design to subtly reinforce the film's relationship with time, how it stretches, collapses, and governs every decision. The Endurance is not just a vessel, it's a visual reminder that time is the most powerful force travelers face. Fact 34. Zero-gravity scenes used clever practical tricks. Actors were suspended on thin wires, rotated gently to mimic drifting, and shot with slow movements to create a sense of weightlessness. Instead of relying heavily on CGI, Nolan used careful choreography and soft lighting to achieve a natural floating effect. The resulting motion feels organic, giving space an unhurried, calming quality. Fact 35. The ship's interior was built at full scale. Rather than relying on green screens, the production team constructed the Endurance's rooms fully, with working panels, tools, and rotating elements. This immersive environment allowed actors to move slowly and naturally, helping capture a believable sense of routine in space. The tactile surroundings make the quiet moments feel intimate and grounded. Fact 36. Amelia Brand's logic and love speech was crafted to be gentle. Brand's reflection on love as a measurable force was written to sound contemplative rather than dramatic. Nolan wanted it to unfold like a whispered confession in the darkness of space, raising questions without forcing answers. Her words drift with a soft vulnerability, suggesting that emotion may be as fundamental to survival as oxygen or water. Fact 37. The journey to the wormhole was filmed like a pilgrimage. The camera glides slowly past Saturn's rings, holding long, patient shots that evoke reverence. Nolan described this sequence as humanity approaching a sacred threshold, an encounter with something far beyond comprehension. The pacing invites viewers to breathe deeply and appreciate the cosmic scale without rushing toward spectacle. Fact 38. The wormhole interior reflects distorted reality. Inside the wormhole, the environment bends light in smooth, fluid patterns. The VFX team avoided sharp effects, choosing instead to create gentle waves of distortion that mimic ripples on calm water. This design choice transforms a potentially chaotic scene into a serene, dreamlike passage, as though space itself were exhaling around the ship. Fact 39. Shaking hands across dimensions was based on physics experiments. The moment when Cooper reaches out to touch Brand through the wormhole draws inspiration from real scientific visualizations of curved space-time. The idea that different dimensions can fold close enough to feel connected guided the scene's choreography. The gentle motion of their hands emphasizes the longing for contact across impossible distance. Fact 40. Brief glimpses of Earth keep the story anchored. Throughout the early space journey, Nolan inserts soft, almost nostalgic shots of Earth seen from afar. These quiet reminders of home create emotional balance amid the vastness of space. The planet appears small, fragile, and distant, reinforcing the theme that humanity's survival depends not only on exploration, but also on remembering what we are trying to save. Fact 41. The Endurance docking rings symbolize harmony in motion. The rotating rings of the Endurance weren't designed just for artificial gravity. They represent balance. Each spin is a reminder that survival in space depends on rhythm and precision. Nolan used long, steady shots of the rotation to evoke a peaceful, almost hypnotic cycle, giving the viewer the feeling of drifting through a universe that moves with quiet order. Fact 42. The crew's first meal in space sets the film's tone. Their meal is simple, soft-colored, and shared in near silence. Instead of celebrating the voyage with excitement, the scene feels reflective, almost solemn. Nolan wanted to show that even in the vastness of space, routine human moments continue. This stillness grounds the story emotionally, reminding us that exploration doesn't erase vulnerability or the need for comfort. Fact 43. Romilly represents the weight of cosmic time. Romilly's fascination with black holes slowly becomes a burden as isolation stretches on. His quiet demeanor and hesitant speech reflect how time in deep space erodes certainty. Nolan intentionally portrayed him as introspective, carrying the silent pressure of years slipping away differently for each crew member. His presence highlights how time shapes minds as much as planets. Fact 44. The wormhole exterior was designed to look inviting. Rather than frightening or chaotic, the wormhole appears as a softly shimmering sphere, almost peaceful. Its smooth, glass-like texture hints at mysteries beyond fear. Nolan believed that humanity's greatest discoveries should inspire awe, not terror. The gentle glow and subtle reflections create an atmosphere of cosmic curiosity, guiding the crew forward like a lighthouse in the void. Fact 45. Dialogue was written to echo through silence. Many of the film's conversations unfold in gentle, measured tones. Nolan structured dialogue to feel like thoughts drifting through quiet space rather than rapid exchanges. This calm pacing allows ideas about love, survival, sacrifice to resonate deeply. The stillness around the characters lets each sentence breathe, creating a contemplative rhythm that lulls the audience. Fact 46. Cooper's video messages show time as a quiet thief. The montage of missed years is not explosive or dramatic. It's heartbreak delivered calmly. Cooper sits still as his children grow, age, and change without him. Nolan uses minimal music, letting the raw footage speak softly. The emotional damage isn't loud. It's the quiet realization that time has slipped through fingers he can't reach across space. Fact 47. The water planet's calm surface hides immense threat. At first glance, the shallow ocean seems serene, reflecting a pale sky without turbulence. Nolan wanted viewers to experience a moment of calm before understanding its danger. The stillness of the surface mirrors the deceptive nature of space exploration. Peaceful visuals can conceal physics capable of reshaping entire lives in minutes. Fact 48. The colossal waves move with slow, heavy grace. Despite their size, the waves don't crash violently. They rise like massive walls lifted by invisible hands. The VFX team chose slow motion to enhance their surreal majesty. This gentle pacing transforms disaster into a hypnotic sight, reinforcing the theme that cosmic forces operate on scales beyond human urgency. Fact 49. Doyle's death was designed to feel sudden yet quiet. His final moment isn't dramatized with screams or extended struggle. Instead, Doyle disappears beneath the wave in a single, swift motion. Nolan believed that space dangers often happen faster than emotion can register. The quietness of the scene leaves a lingering ache, capturing how loss in the cosmos can feel both immediate and strangely distant. Fact 50. Returning to the Endurance shows time's quiet cruelty. When Cooper and Brand return to the ship to find Romilly aged by decades, Nolan films their reaction in restrained silence. There's no frantic shock, just a slow understanding settling over them. Time has wounded their mission in ways they cannot reverse. This moment reinforces the film's central truth. The universe's greatest force is not distance, but time itself. Fact 51. Romilly's loneliness was built into the set design. During the decades he waits alone, Romilly's workspace becomes a quiet monument to time. His equipment gathers dust, his notes grow in scattered piles, and the lighting shifts to cooler tones. Nolan wanted the environment itself to reflect his unraveling patience. The stillness of the room surrounds him like a second skin, amplifying the quiet weight of solitude in space. Fact 52. The crew's debrief after the water planet feels like shared mourning. Instead of anger or panic, the conversation is filled with hushed voices and tired eyes. Nolan filmed the scene with minimal movement, allowing silence to carry the emotional heaviness. The crew speaks gently, almost cautiously, as if acknowledging a collective wound. Their calm discussion underscores the fragile bond formed under cosmic pressure. Fact 53. The decision between Man and Edmonds represents two philosophies. Choosing which planet to visit next isn't simply strategic. It symbolizes faith versus skepticism. Man's data promises survival through authority, while Edmonds's data suggests survival through trust in human connection. Nolan structured the debate to reveal each character's deepest belief. The calm tones hide a storm of competing hopes, wrapped in quiet tension. Fact 54. The cryosleep pods were designed to look peaceful, not futuristic. Instead of sleek metallic coffins, the pods resemble soft, glowing chambers with smooth edges and gentle lighting. Nolan wanted them to evoke rest rather than confinement. When characters lie inside, the camera lingers on their stillness, creating a sense of suspended dreaming. These visuals invite viewers to feel that deep space travel is both isolating and strangely soothing. Fact 55. Man's planet was crafted to feel like a frozen mirage. The endless ice fields stretch into soft horizons, reflecting muted blues and whites that create an illusion of calm. Yet beneath every step lies instability. Nolan wanted a world that looks peaceful but behaves unpredictably. The silent gusts of wind and the absence of wildlife intensify the eerie serenity, making the planet feel like a lonely echo of abandoned hope. Fact 56. Man's awakening mirrors the fragility of desperation. When Dr. Man emerges from cryosleep, his voice trembles softly, portraying a man clinging to survival by thin emotional threads. Nolan instructed Matt Damon to speak with quiet awe, as if waking from a dream into a new chance. This gentle performance hides the character's underlying despair, adding layers to his eventual unraveling. Fact 57. The cracked ice scene shows trust breaking in slow motion. As Man leads Cooper across the icy ridge, their conversation unfolds calmly, with soft breaths and steady footsteps. Yet each line foreshadows betrayal. The slow pacing heightens the tension. The world looks tranquil, but danger grows beneath their feet, both literally and metaphorically. When the ice finally gives way, the emotional fracture feels inevitable. Fact 58. The helmet crack was designed to sound like a whispered alarm. Instead of a shattering explosion, the crack in Cooper's helmet emits a soft, chilling hiss. Nolan wanted the moment to feel intimate and terrifying in near silence. The gentle leak of air becomes a quiet countdown to death, emphasizing how fragile the human body is when surrounded by the vast, unforgiving vacuum of space. Fact 59. man's recorded message reveals a quiet collapse of hope. His confession is not delivered with rage, but with trembling resignation. The soft repetition of his words, explaining how hope faded, is more haunting than any shout. Nolan crafted this scene to portray desperation as something that doesn't always explode outward. Sometimes it erodes quietly, like ice melting beneath steady pressure. Fact 60. The failed docking attempt is a study in slow-building chaos. Even as man attempts docking, the scene avoids frantic editing. Instead, tension grows through steady camera movements and the soft hum of machinery nearing failure. The calm visuals contrast with the disastrous outcome, making the explosion feel like reality simply snapping under accumulated strain. Nolan uses this contrast to show how disaster often creeps rather than suddenly erupts. Fact 61. The spinning endurance represents humanity's fragile balance. After man's failed docking, the endurance spins uncontrollably, yet Nolan films the rotation with a strange elegance. The ship twirls against the quiet backdrop of space, reflecting how fragile human achievement becomes when pushed to cosmic extremes. Each rotation feels like a heartbeat slipping out of rhythm, steady, then trembling, reminding us that survival is often a delicate dance between chaos and control. Fact 62. Cooper's manual docking scene was designed as a calm crescendo. Even though it's one of the film's most intense moments, Nolan keeps Cooper's voice steady, focused, and almost meditative. The music rises slowly like deep breaths, guiding the rhythm of the spinning craft. Instead of frantic shouting, there's calm determination. This restrained tension transforms a life-or-death maneuver into a hypnotic moment of cosmic precision. Fact 63. The score uses ticking to represent wasted time. Zimmer incorporated subtle clock-like ticks throughout the docking sequence, but not to raise anxiety, rather to echo the quiet cost of delay. Each tick symbolizes seconds slipping beyond Cooper's control. The gentle pulse is meant to blend with the viewer's heartbeat, creating an intimate awareness of how thin the margin between triumph and failure truly is. Fact 64. Brand's reaction shows quiet faith in Cooper. While alarms blare and the ship trembles, Brand watches Cooper with a calm steadiness. Her trust is not shouted, it's expressed through soft breathing, focused eyes, and restrained movements. Nolan wanted her to reflect a belief that extends beyond logic, a quiet intuition that Cooper can align with the rhythm of the moment and pull them back from disaster. Fact 65. The Endurance interior after the crash feels like a wounded organism. Lights flicker gently, panels hang loose, and the once harmonious rotation is disrupted. The ship no longer sounds like a smooth machine, but like something breathing unevenly. Nolan uses these subtle details to create the sense that the vessel itself has suffered. The quiet aftermath amplifies the emotional weight of survival, making the crew's exhaustion deeply palpable. Fact 66. The mission's shift toward sacrifice happens in whispered conversations. When Cooper and Brand discuss the next step, their voices lower, as if acknowledging sacred truth. They might not return. Nolan avoided dramatic declarations, opting for soft, measured lines. This gentle tone makes the realization more authentic. Heroism emerges not through bold speeches, but through quiet acceptance of responsibility, spoken with steady resolve. Fact 67. Heading toward Gargantua was filmed like drifting into a cosmic cathedral. The imagery slows, the lighting deepens, and the music shifts to long, resonant notes. Nolan wanted the black hole encounter to feel reverent, as though the crew were approaching a grand, ancient presence. The silence surrounding the ship becomes almost spiritual, creating the impression of entering a place where time itself bows into graceful curves. Fact 68. The slingshot maneuver reflects humanity's willingness to bend for survival. As the ship arcs dangerously close to Gargantua, the motion is slow and deliberate, emphasizing surrender rather than aggression. Nolan framed the scene to show humanity aligning itself with forces it cannot conquer. The gentle curvature of the ship's path symbolizes cooperation with nature's rules, turning physics into a quiet dance of endurance and humility. Fact 69. Cooper's goodbye to Brand is soft but monumental. He doesn't shout or dramatize his sacrifice. Instead, Cooper's farewell is delivered in a steady, almost soothing tone, as though trying to ease Brand into the reality of his decision. Nolan kept the moment subtle to highlight emotional truth. Profound sacrifices often happen quietly, carried by courage that doesn't need to announce itself. Fact 70. Falling into the black hole was designed as a descent into stillness. Rather than portray the plunge into Gargantua with frantic motion, Nolan slows everything down. The ship glides gently into darkness, surrounded by faint vibrations and stretching light. Time appears to soften, melting into elongated patterns. This serene descent reflects the idea that at the universe's most extreme edge, chaos becomes silence, and gravity becomes a cradle for revelation. Fact 71. Entering the Singularity was filmed like a surrender to the unknown. As Cooper crosses Gargantua's event horizon, the visuals soften into waves of bending light. Nolan avoided chaotic distortion, choosing instead a slow, graceful collapse of familiar shapes. This creates the sensation of drifting beyond comprehension, where reality loosens but never fully breaks. The quiet pacing signals that Cooper is not fighting the unknown. He's allowing himself to be carried by it. Fact 72. The transition to the Tesseract mimics waking inside a memory. Rather than a violent shift, Cooper's arrival feels gentle and surreal. The darkness unfolds into a glowing, infinite lattice of Murph's room. Nolan wanted the moment to evoke the strange calm of realizing you're inside a dream, familiar yet transformed. The scene's softness invites viewers to experience awe without fear, stepping into a dimension shaped by emotion and time. Fact 73. The infinite bookshelves symbolize human persistence. The endless rows of shelves represent humanity's collective effort to understand the universe. Each book is a lifetime of questions, discoveries, and failures. By placing Cooper inside this structure, Nolan ties the survival of civilization to curiosity itself. The Tesseract becomes not just a tool, but a quiet tribute to every mind that ever sought meaning in the stars. Fact 74. Cooper's movements show time becoming a physical medium. In the Tesseract, Cooper touches moments the way one might touch water, disturbing ripples that echo across timelines. His slow gestures and controlled breathing were directed to highlight this new relationship with time. Nolan wanted the viewer to sense that time isn't abstract here. It's tactile, something you can reach into, shape gently, and send forward with intention. Fact 75. Gravity becomes a bridge between dimensions. The film's central idea, that gravity can transmit messages across time, unfolds quietly in this scene. The soft shake of books, The gentle swinging of a watch, the faint movement of dust become doorways for communication. Nolan approached these moments with subtlety to show that the universe's most powerful forces often speak in whispers rather than roars. Fact 76. Murph's realization was crafted as a slow emotional bloom. Rather than a sudden epiphany, Murph's understanding grows with visible stillness. She watches dust drift, feels gravity's tug, and lets the truth settle like a soft dawn breaking across her mind. Nolan wanted her discovery to feel earned, not forced. An awakening shaped by patience, intuition, and deep love for her father. Fact 77. The watch was chosen as a timeless symbol of connection. Nolan selected a simple, classic design, so it would feel like something passed through generations. The ticking becomes a physical reminder that love can transcend distance and even dimensions. When Murph holds the watch, the quiet rhythm mirrors the heartbeat of a relationship stretched across space-time, anchoring the emotional climax in something small and familiar. Fact 78. Cooper sending Morse code reflects hope turning into action. Inside the Tesseract, Cooper's calm determination replaces panic. Each tap against the watch is measured, slow, and deliberate, like a father whispering instructions through the fabric of reality. Nolan designed the sequence to show hope not as desperate shouting, but as focused, patient effort. Love becomes procedural, mathematical, and deeply personal. Fact 79. The collapse of the Tesseract is a gentle release. As Cooper's mission completes, the Tesseract doesn't crumble violently. It folds into itself like a closing flower. Light contracts softly, and the environment dissolves into serene darkness. Nolan wanted this exit to feel like the universe exhaling, returning Cooper to the flow of space-time with the same care with which it pulled him in. Fact 80. Being found near Saturn symbolizes rebirth. Cooper awakens rescued by futuristic humans orbiting Saturn, a quiet, cyclical return to where his journey began. The soft lighting and calm voices create a sense of new beginning rather than triumph. Nolan frames this moment as a gentle rebirth. Cooper has crossed the edge of the impossible and emerged changed, carried home by a future he helped create. Fact 81. Cooper Station was designed to feel familiar yet distant. Although advanced, Cooper Station doesn't flaunt futuristic extremes. Its curved fields and sunlit interiors resemble an idealized version of Earth. Nolan wanted viewers to feel a mix of comfort and disorientation. Home, but not quite home. The gentle rotation of the habitat creates a drifting sense of artificial gravity, giving life a slow, rhythmic pulse inside the colossal cylinder. Fact 82. The curved horizon represents humanity's adaptability. Inside Cooper Station, the landscape bends upward, allowing entire communities to exist within a rotating world. Nolan used wide shots to emphasize how humans reshape environments to fit their needs. Even the sky is engineered, softly lit to mimic natural daylight. This quiet transformation symbolizes humanity's ability to evolve, gently bending reality to ensure survival. Fact 83. Murph's hospital room reflects a life spent solving time. When Cooper finds Murph as an elderly woman, her room is filled with soft light, personal artifacts, and a calm atmosphere. Nolan crafted this space to represent a life rich with knowledge and sacrifice. The stillness around her mirrors the long emotional arc she has completed, from a confused child in a dusty room to a scientist who unlocked the secrets of gravity. Fact 84. Their reunion emphasizes acceptance over drama. Cooper doesn't collapse in tears, nor does Murph shout in joy. Their exchange is warm, tender, and grounded in quiet understanding. Nolan wanted the moment to feel like a gentle closing of a circle. Murph reassures her father with calm certainty, acknowledging that his journey, no matter how painful, was meaningful. The softness of their conversation radiates deep closure. Fact 85. Murph encourages Cooper to leave as an act of love. Instead of clinging to their reunion, Murph urges Cooper to go, knowing she has lived her life and that Brand is still out there waiting. Her acceptance is delivered softly, without bitterness. Nolan portrays love not as possession, but as release, a willingness to let others continue their path even when time has nearly run its course. Fact 86. Cooper Station's architecture echoes the film's themes. The cylindrical habitat embodies the relationship between gravity, time, and survival. Every element, from the rotating fields to the gentle artificial day-night cycles, exists because humanity learned to control forces once thought unreachable. Nolan uses these visuals to show that the film's discoveries weren't just theoretical. They rebuilt civilization into something calm and sustainable. Fact 87. Humanity lives with a quiet reverence for the past. Artifacts from Earth, including books, tools, and personal heirlooms, are preserved across the station. They aren't displayed dramatically. They simply rest in corners and shelves as gentle reminders of where people came from. Nolan wanted to portray a society that honors its history with humility, carrying Earth's memory into a new cosmic chapter. Fact 88. The Museum of the Old Farm blends memory and myth. On Cooper Station, Cooper's former home is recreated like a serene museum. The soft lighting, dust suspended in artificial beams, and preserved objects evoke a dreamlike nostalgia. Nolan designed this recreation to show how memories can become myths, stories retold through generations, acquiring a gentle glow of reverence and distance. Fact 89. Cooper's departure is filmed as a silent promise. When Cooper steals a small vessel to search for Brand, the moment is quiet and determined. There are no speeches or dramatic farewells, just steady breathing, soft indicator lights, and the hum of engines warming. Nolan wanted the scene to reflect a peaceful resolve. Cooper is returning to the stars not out of escape, but out of purpose. Fact 90. Brand's new world represents hope growing in silence. The final glimpses of Brand on Edmonds's planet show a landscape bathed in soft, golden light, with her steps echoing gently across untouched ground. Nolan uses this tranquil imagery to symbolize beginnings. Though the world is lonely, it holds the promise of renewal. Her quiet movements mirror humanity's first steps into a future shaped by resilience and love. Fact 91. Brand's solitude highlights the quiet courage of new beginnings. On Edmonds's planet, Brand moves gently through a landscape untouched by humanity. The soft wind, the muted colors, and the open horizon create a tranquil sense of possibility. Nolan wanted this solitude to feel purposeful rather than sad. Brand stands as a symbol of hope, planting the first seeds of a civilization that may one day thrive under unfamiliar skies. Fact 92. The flag on Edmonds's grave represents love's enduring legacy. The small flag placed near Edmonds's resting place isn't meant to be dramatic. It is a quiet gesture of devotion, Brand honoring the man she loved, even in a world light years away from home. Nolan uses this simple symbol to show that love persists across distances, shaping choices long after the people we cherish are gone. Fact 93. The soft lighting of Brand's final scene suggests dawn, not ending. The last shots of the film are bathed in warm, tender light. This choice reflects a thematic sunrise rather than a sunset. Nolan wanted viewers to feel that the story doesn't conclude but transforms, shifting from survival to renewal. The gentle brightness around Brand hints that humanity's next chapter begins in peaceful, measured steps. Fact 94. Cooper's journey back to Brand mirrors his first leap into the unknown. Just as he left Earth guided by duty and love, Cooper now departs Cooper Station with the same quiet resolve. His launch is understated, almost meditative. Nolan avoids spectacle to emphasize intention. Cooper moves forward not as a hero seeking glory, but as a companion returning to someone who remained steadfast in belief. Fact 95. The film's emotional arc balances cosmic scale with intimate bonds. Interstellar spans galaxies, black holes, and dimensions, yet the heart of the story remains a simple human bond between father and daughter. Nolan crafted every large concept to reflect personal emotion. The vastness of space never overshadows the quiet truth that connection, even whispered across time, can guide humanity through its darkest challenges. Fact 96. Zimmer's score was designed to feel like breathing. The music's long, sustained notes rise and fall with the pacing of calm respiration. Zimmer intentionally avoided heavy orchestral clashes, letting the organ and soft strings create a sense of steady presence. This breathing quality rhythm lulls the viewer into a contemplative state, supporting the film's meditative exploration of fate, love, and cosmic wonder. Fact 97. The film leaves questions unanswered by design. Nolan resisted the temptation to explain every scientific detail or emotional choice. The universe remains mysterious, with quiet spaces for viewers to fill with their own interpretations. This intentional openness mirrors the nature of real exploration. Every answer leads to new questions, and understanding grows slowly, like light spreading across distant horizons. Fact 98. Interstellar blurs the line between science and spirituality. Although grounded in physics, the film approaches cosmic forces with reverence. Concepts like gravity, time, and love are treated not as contradictions, but as different expressions of the same universal truth. Nolan integrates these ideas in soft, reflective tones, inviting viewers to consider that meaning may exist not only in equations, but in the quiet experiences that shape our lives. Fact 99. Love functions as a navigational force in the story. Throughout Interstellar, love isn't portrayed as an abstract emotion but as a guiding energy, subtle yet powerful enough to influence decisions, shape destinies, and bridge impossible gaps. Nolan uses gentle dialogue and patient pacing to show love as something steady and directional, aligning characters toward choices that transcend fear and isolation. Fact 100. The ending encourages rest, not restlessness. Interstellar closes not with triumphant closure, but with a peaceful sense of continuation. The slow fades, warm tones, and spacious shots invite viewers to breathe deeply and release tension. Nolan designed the final moments to feel like drifting into sleep, carried by quiet hope, lingering curiosity, and the soft promise of a future waiting to unfold among the stars. Fact 101. Interstellar treats time as a living character. Throughout the film, time behaves not as a distant scientific principle, but as an active presence shaping every choice. Nolan frames time as something that breathes, stretches, and folds around human emotion. Each planet, each decision, each separation reinforces the idea that time can nurture or steal, whisper or roar, yet always moves with an unstoppable rhythm. Fact 102. The film's dialogue encourages stillness, not urgency. Many scenes purposely use slow-paced, reflective speech. Instead of filling silence with noise, the characters pause, breathe, and choose their words carefully. Nolan believed that thoughtful dialogue invites viewers to settle into the story's atmosphere, letting ideas sink in naturally. The quiet cadence mirrors the vast calm of space itself. Fact 103. Dust motifs connect Earth's struggles to cosmic themes. Dust floats gently through the farmhouse, settling on furniture and memories alike. These soft particles represent the erosion of time and the fragility of Earth. Nolan uses dust as a visual echo of stardust, reminding us that what harms humanity also binds us to the universe. It is both a symbol of decay and a quiet link to our cosmic origins. Fact 104. The Endurance's circular form reflects eternal cycles. The ship's wheel-like design mirrors cycles of loss, growth, and rediscovery. Its rotation delivers artificial gravity, but symbolically, it embodies life's ever-turning nature. Nolan uses wide, slow shots of the ship spinning through the void to reinforce that human progress, like the vessel itself, moves in calm, repeating arcs across time. Fact 105. Nolan uses silence as a narrative language. Silence in Interstellar isn't empty, it's expressive. The quiet moments allow viewers to absorb emotional weight, reflect on the unknown, or sense the fragility of existence. Nolan treats silence like a musical element, letting it guide tension, soothe viewers, or signal a shift in cosmic perspective. It becomes a universal language shared between characters and stars. Fact 106. The relationship between father and daughter mirrors gravity. Just as gravity binds planets and shapes galaxies, the bond between Cooper and Murph pulls them toward each other despite unimaginable distance. Nolan crafted their connection to feel inevitable, like celestial bodies drawn together across space-time. Their love bends decisions, alters timelines, and ultimately saves humanity. Quiet emotional gravity in motion. Fact 107. Cooper's sacrifice reframes heroism as gentleness. In many films, heroism is loud and forceful. Interstellar presents it differently. Cooper sacrifices himself through calm acceptance. His words remain steady, his breathing controlled, his intention clear. Nolan wanted to show that true heroism can be quiet, a willingness to let go, to trust the unknown, and to place others' futures above your own without demanding recognition. Fact 108. The film's scientific accuracy enhances its dreamlike tone. Oddly, following real physics made the film feel more surreal. Wormholes, time dilation, and black holes behave in mathematically plausible ways, but the results appear magical. Nolan believed that authenticity creates the most profound wonder. By respecting science, the film generates a sense of calm awe, inviting viewers to drift into possibilities that might truly exist. Fact 109. Human resilience is presented through soft persistence. Interstellar avoids portraying humans as unstoppable conquerors. Instead, it shows survival through patience, curiosity, and emotional endurance. Characters don't shout their strength. They express it through quiet determination. Nolan emphasizes that resilience often emerges not through force, but through steady hope carried across years of uncertainty. Fact 110. Interstellar ends on a note of gentle continuation. Rather than a definitive conclusion, the film closes with open horizons and unspoken promises. Cooper's launch toward Brand signals another chapter beginning in hushed tones. Nolan believed that stories about humanity's future should end in motion, not finality. The soft, lingering atmosphere encourages viewers to imagine their own continuations in the vast silence of the cosmos. Fact 111. Interstellar shows progress through quiet collaboration. The breakthroughs in the story, solving gravity, navigating wormholes, sustaining life, aren't achieved by lone geniuses but through shared effort. Nolan wanted science to feel communal, built from countless small contributions rather than dramatic revelations. This calm portrayal reinforces the idea that human advancement is a collective whisper across generations, not a single shout into the void. Fact 112. The film blends hard science with emotional logic. Nolan crafted the narrative so that physics governs the universe, while emotion governs the characters. He believed that human decisions often carry more weight than cosmic equations. By pairing rigorous science with gentle emotional truth, Interstellar finds balance between the mechanical and the personal, showing that the universe is both calculated and deeply felt. Fact 113. Humanity's survival is rooted in willingness to trust. Many of the film's turning points revolve around trust. Cooper trusting Murph's instincts, Brand trusting love as a compass, and the future humans trusting the past to guide them. These acts of faith aren't portrayed dramatically but softly, like quiet leaps across invisible bridges. Nolan uses trust as a subtle thread weaving the story toward hope. Fact 114. The film suggests that knowledge grows in layers over time. Murph's discovery isn't a sudden spark, but a gradual accumulation of clues, memories, and intuition. Nolan intentionally avoided portraying genius as instant insight. Instead, he frames learning as a peaceful layering of thoughts, dust settling in patterns, numbers aligning slowly, ideas blooming over years. Understanding unfolds like a long, quiet sunrise. Fact 115. The stars serve as gentle reminders of possibility. Throughout the film, stars appear in calm, wide shots, not as dazzling backdrops, but as soft points of distant promise. Nolan uses them sparingly to remind viewers that beyond Earth's struggles lies immense potential. Their quiet presence steadies the narrative, suggesting that even in darkness, small glimmers of light endure. Fact 116. Interstellar respects the unknowable without fear. The film presents black holes, higher dimensions, and cosmic mysteries not as threats but as wonders. Nolan chooses to frame the unknown with curiosity rather than dread. This calm approach encourages viewers to see the universe as a place of profound possibilities, vast, silent, and waiting to be understood through patience and exploration. Fact 117. The narrative mirrors the structure of a gravitational orbit. Interstellar loops back on itself. The story begins with a message in Murph's room and eventually returns there through the Tesseract. This narrative orbit reflects how gravity binds moments across time. Nolan shaped the screenplay to circle gently, creating a sense of completion that feels natural, like celestial bodies returning to their starting points. Fact 118. The film honors parenthood as a cosmic force. Cooper's choices are driven not by ambition, but by devotion to his children. Nolan portrays parenthood as a guiding energy capable of transcending space and time. The tone remains soft, never sentimentalized, showing how responsibility and love guide human beings toward extraordinary decisions. Parenthood becomes a quiet cosmic force shaping the fate of humanity. Fact 119. The message is that love and science are not opposites. Interstellar proposes that emotion and logic coexist harmoniously. Love motivates scientific exploration, while scientific discovery protects the people we love. Nolan blends these domains gently, without conflict, suggesting that the universe may operate on principles that encompass both. This harmony gives the film its serene philosophical balance. Fact 120. Interstellar leaves space for the viewer's imagination. Rather than sealing every detail with certainty, the film opens its final door and steps aside. Nolan intentionally avoids showing what becomes of Brand's colony or Cooper's next journey. The silence after the story invites viewers to drift into their own thoughts, dreaming of futures across stars. This open-ended calm makes Interstellar linger like a soft echo in the mind long after the credits fade. From the very beginning, Interstellar reveals itself as a film shaped by two forces that rarely coexist so harmoniously: rigorous science and profound emotional storytelling. The first 60 facts trace the foundation of this balance, showing how the movie's earliest concepts, rooted in Kip Thorne's scientific vision, evolved into a deeply human journey through space and time. The science behind wormholes, time dilation, and black holes wasn't designed merely to impress. It was crafted to feel intimate and believable, grounding the viewer in a universe where every shimmering particle of light has a basis in reality. Gargantua, the iconic black hole, wasn't imagined but calculated. Its glowing disk formed from equations that transformed theoretical physics into visible beauty. And throughout these early explorations, Nolan insisted on treating silence, stillness, and precision not as constraints, but as tools to soothe and immerse. On Earth, the story begins in an atmosphere of quiet decline. Dust settles into every scene like an unspoken warning, echoing the fragility of the world and humanity's fading curiosity. The farmhouse, Murph's room, and the golden cornfields serve as gentle visual anchors, each symbolizing the last remnants of a home that is slipping into memory. These spaces are not chaotic or hopeless. They are calm, reflective, filled with subtle tension. Murph's room becomes the emotional center of the story, a place where gravity, love, and mystery overlap. The so-called ghost that moves books and dust is the earliest whisper of the cosmic loop that will later connect father and daughter across dimensions. As humanity's hope shrinks inward, Cooper emerges as a reluctant explorer, grounded yet yearning for sky. His early scenes, chasing a drone through corn, reading bedtime stories, debating Earth's future, show a man so deeply tied to his family that leaving feels like breaking gravity's pull. Even the discovery of NASA is filmed not as triumph, but as quiet inevitability. Earth can no longer support its children, and someone must carry them forward. The launch sequence continues this restraint. Rather than explosive heroism, it unfolds with deep breaths, soft vibrations, and a meditation-like ascent into silence. Once in space, the story adopts a drifting, contemplative rhythm. The design of the Endurance mirrors a celestial clock, its rotating modules symbolizing cycles of time and the delicate balance required for survival. Inside, conversations unfold slowly, meals are shared in thoughtful silence, and even scientific debates feel like gentle waves brushing against the vastness outside. Zero-gravity scenes, filmed with practical techniques, create genuine softness, allowing viewers to float alongside the characters. Tars and Case, the surprisingly graceful robots, add grounding warmth with their subtle movements and steady presence. When the crew reaches the wormhole, Nolan treats the encounter with reverence. Rather than fear, the wormhole offers shimmering beauty, its spherical surface bending starlight in elegant patterns. Inside, space itself ripples with quiet distortion, guiding the Endurance like a cosmic tide. Their handshake across dimensions isn't dramatic. It's a fleeting, tender moment suggesting that the universe is more interconnected than it appears. The descent onto Miller's water planet introduces time dilation, not as spectacle, but as emotional weight. The calm surface of the ocean hides the colossal tides governed by gargantuous gravity. The towering waves move with slow, heavy majesty, reminding viewers that danger in space often arrives silently, shaped by forces beyond human control. Doyle's sudden, quiet death and Romilly's decades of isolation reveal time as a subtle thief, stealing years without warning. These early planetary encounters deepen the theme that survival requires not only scientific precision, but emotional resilience. Dr. Mann's icy world continues this quiet exploration of human vulnerability. The frozen landscape, tranquil yet deceptive, mirrors Mann's unraveling psyche. His awakening is tender, trembling with relief, but beneath that softness lies desperation built over years of solitude. The quiet conversations across brittle ice foreshadow betrayal. When the ridge collapses and Mann attempts his doomed docking, the scenes unfold with restrained tension. No frantic shouting, only slow-building dread and the soft hiss of a cracking helmet. Even in chaos, Nolan protects the film's meditative tone. Cooper's manual docking is filmed like a cosmic dance, a moment of intense precision delivered with calm determination. The ticking score mirrors the heartbeat of lost time, blending urgency with serenity. The aftermath leaves the Endurance wounded, its structure faltering like an exhausted traveler, yet the quiet resolve of the crew persists. By the time the first 60 facts conclude, Interstellar has transformed from a story about saving Earth into a reflection on the human spirit. Its frailty, its determination, and its quiet longing to reach beyond limitations. Every scientific idea is paired with emotional truth, every visual marvel with a gentle stillness. This foundation prepares the film for its eventual descent into black holes, tesseracts, and cosmic revelation, all while holding on to the simple, enduring connection between a father and his daughter. The final 60 facts of Interstellar shift the film from the early quiet tensions of exploration into moments of profound sacrifice, transformation, and cosmic revelation. As the story deepens, the tone grows even more meditative, drawing viewers into an emotional orbit that mirrors the spinning Endurance itself. After Mann's failed docking and the ship's uncontrolled rotation, Nolan frames chaos with surprising elegance. The ship twirls through space like a distressed yet beautiful instrument, its spiraling motion emphasized with slow camera sweeps. Rather than overwhelm the audience, the scene feels hypnotic, a reminder that even in crisis, the universe moves with graceful inevitability. Cooper's manual docking reflects this harmony. Instead of a frantic scramble, the scene unfolds like a calm crescendo. His steady voice, the pulsing rhythm of Zimmer's ticking score, and the synchronized rotation between man and machine turn danger into choreography. Brand's unwavering trust, shown not through dramatic declarations but through quiet focus, underscores the film's core message. Survival is a delicate interplay between skill, intuition, and belief. Once the crew stabilizes the wounded Endurance, their conversations settle into soft, reflective tones. They know their mission has changed. Sacrifice becomes an unspoken companion at every turn. The journey toward Gargantua marks the transition into the film's most philosophical territory. Rather than portraying the black hole as terrifying, Nolan treats it like a cosmic cathedral, ancient, majestic, and humbling. The slingshot maneuver, filmed with slow arcs and long stretches of silence, presents humanity not as conqueror, but as a respectful traveler bending to the rhythms of nature. Cooper's private decision to detach, sparing Brand and giving her a chance to reach Edmonds's world, is delivered with gentle acceptance. His farewell carries the weight of love without melodrama, demonstrating that heroism often speaks in whispers rather than shouts. As Cooper falls into the event horizon, the visuals stretch into serene distortions. Space and time lose their rigidity, dissolving into flowing patterns of light. The descent into the singularity becomes a moment of surrender, not terror, an invitation into the vast unknown. This gentle unraveling prepares the viewer for the Tesseract, where the film abandons conventional reality and enters a new, dreamlike plane. The infinite lattice built from Murph's room reflects memory as architecture, emotion as geometry. Nolan uses this surreal environment to show time not as a line, but as a dimension that can be touched, shaped, and revisited. Inside the Tesseract, Cooper's movements carry symbolic weight. His fingers glide across moments like ripples on a quiet pond. Gravity becomes a language, allowing him to communicate through soft knocks, gentle pulls, and drifting dust. The revelation that Cooper himself was Murph's ghost transforms earlier mysteries into a cosmic loop built on love. Murph's awakening mirrors this fluidity. Her realization unfolds slowly, her eyes softening as patterns emerge from dust and memory. The watch, chosen for its timeless simplicity, becomes the beating heart of the film, its steady ticking bridging the gap between father and daughter, past and future. When the Tesseract finally collapses, it folds inward like a closing flower, releasing Cooper back into space-time. His rescue near Saturn symbolizes rebirth, a return to the place where humanity first leapt into the unknown. Cooper Station, with its curved horizons and soft artificial daylight, represents the culmination of everything humanity achieved through patience, collaboration, and courage. Here, the past lingers gently in preserved artifacts and museum-like reconstructions of Earth. Murph's hospital room glows with quiet nostalgia, honoring the long journey that began in childhood fear and blossomed into world-changing discovery. Their reunion is intentionally understated. The emotional resolution rests in understanding, not spectacle. Murph urges Cooper to continue his path, knowing she has lived her life, and that Bran now carries the torch of humanity's future. This quiet release encapsulates the film's philosophy. Love does not bind by possession. It guides, supports, and lets go. Meanwhile, Bran's final scenes on Edmunds's planet offer a golden, tranquil vision of beginnings. Her solitude is filled not with loneliness, but with purpose, planting the seeds of a new world under a soft alien sky. The final facts highlight core themes that tie the entire narrative together. Time remains a living force, shaping, stretching, looping. And silence becomes a language through which the film speaks its deepest truths. Interstellar blends scientific authenticity with emotional resonance, showing that the universe's mysteries need not be feared. Whether through parenthood, resilience, curiosity, or love, humanity's connection to the cosmos is portrayed as gentle yet powerful. The story ends in open possibility, encouraging viewers to imagine their own futures among the stars. It does not close a door, it opens countless others, each shimmering quietly in the vastness of time. As we drift gently back from the vast silence of the cosmos, allow yourself a final deep breath. The journey through 120 sleepy facts about Interstellar has carried us across dust-filled memories, distant planets, towering waves, frozen horizons, black hole singularities, and dimensions where time folds like soft fabric. Each moment of this exploration was designed to calm the mind, open the imagination, and remind us that even in the quietest corners of the universe, there are stories waiting to be discovered. Here at DreamSleep Studios, we believe that a good night's rest should feel like a voyage, a soothing passage through ideas, images, and emotions that loosen the weight of the day. Interstellar offers a rare canvas for that kind of peaceful wandering. Its blend of science, philosophy, visual poetry, and human tenderness creates the perfect environment for relaxation. Whether you join this video to fall asleep, to unwind after a long day, or simply to drift into a meditative state, we hope this experience brought you comfort and clarity. Throughout this documentary, we explored how Christopher Nolan shaped a universe governed by physics, yet guided by emotion. We traced how silence becomes its own language, how gravity carries meaning across dimensions, how love moves through time like a gentle force of nature. We witnessed humanity's fragility and resilience, the calm acceptance of sacrifice, the soft courage of explorers stepping into the unknown. These themes resonate because they belong not only to the film, but to every one of us. In our own ways, we navigate uncertainties, seek connection, and try to understand the world through both logic and heart. And that is what this channel is meant to celebrate. DreamSleep Studios is a place for dreamers, thinkers, wanderers, and restless minds searching for serenity. It is a space where cinematic universes become nighttime companions, where complex ideas are whispered softly enough to lull the mind to rest. Each video is crafted with intention. Slow pacing, calming narration, ambient music, and immersive visuals designed to ease stress, quiet racing thoughts, and spark imagination without overwhelming it. If you found value, peace, or inspiration in this experience, I warmly invite you to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you become part of a growing community dedicated to gentle storytelling, one where films, science, philosophy, and creativity come together to guide you into restful sleep or mindful relaxation. And if you're already drifting between consciousness and dreams, don't worry. You can return anytime, and the stars will still be here waiting. If you're still awake enough to engage, I encourage you to leave a comment below. Tell us, Sparkles, which fact resonated with you the most? Sparkles, what part of Interstellar's world feels closest to your own imagination? Sparkles, what other films or themes would you like us to explore in future calming documentaries? Sparkles, are there cosmic mysteries, movie worlds, or philosophical ideas you want turned into relaxing long-form videos? Your feedback shapes the direction of this channel. Every suggestion becomes a new galaxy to explore, a new path to wander together. Whether it's another deep dive into science fiction classics, the hidden symbolism of beloved films, soothing explorations of planets and stars, or gentle breakdowns of complex scientific concepts, this space is built to grow with your curiosity. Future videos might take us into distant nebulae, the origins of the universe, the secrets of ancient civilizations, the psychology of dreams, or the quiet beauty of other cinematic masterpieces. There is so much more we can discover. So many stories that can be retold softly, reshaped into warm, peaceful narratives perfect for sleep. And if you enjoyed this format, long, immersive, slow-paced explorations, be sure to hit the like button. It helps this video reach others who may be searching for rest tonight. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you want to see more dreamy cosmic films and relaxing narrations. And it supports the growth of DreamSleep Studios, allowing us to produce even more premium content. Before we close, take one final moment to settle your body and mind. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath deepen. Feel the space around you quieting, the world becoming gentle again. You've traveled across galaxies tonight, through the edges of gravity, the mysteries of time, and the vastness of human emotion. You've walked beside explorers, felt the pull of cosmic forces, and witnessed how love can echo across dimensions. Now it's time to return home, or to drift peacefully into dreams shaped by everything you've heard. Thank you for spending this journey with us. Thank you for allowing your mind to wander among the stars. And thank you for being part of DreamSleep Studios, where stories meet serenity and sleep finds you through the universe. Until our next voyage into calm exploration, good night, dreamer, and may your dreams travel far beyond the edges of time.